Hi there everyone, GuardianE here with another live reaction and first impression video for Fire Emblem Heroes. And tonight, we're getting the reveal of the next set of special heroes, some seasonals to drop into the game in just a couple of days. Got the silhouettes pulled up here that were revealed on the Fire Emblem Heroes Twitter just yesterday. Clearly Halloween themed, and it looks like two males on the right there. The hairstyle is certainly reminiscent of male Corrin, so that's my guess. I'm actually going to guess that we're going to get both male and female Corrin on this banner for the Halloween. Now on the left there, I have seen some guesses for Nils, and it does kind of match up, so I think that's probably as good a guess as any. But yeah, my guess is we'll see both Corrins on this banner, and potentially one additional dragon. So let's take a look. I'm going to have the trailer pulled up, and we'll watch it together for the first time. Alright, let's get into it. Let's see... Positively glowing in their bewitching outfits, special heroes to battle. I like the Halloween color theming there. Oh, that is definitely going to be Corrin, Starry, Seer. Little witchy outfit.
I've been to a similar festival in my own world.
Very nice. Okay, infantry blue dragon. Moonlight stone. Attack speed finish 4. Dragon's wrath 4. Okay. Like how she does have the little decorations on her antlers. Art's pretty nice. I like the art on Corrin here. Another witch. Are they all going to be witches? And that is going to be male Corrin, Celestial Sorcerer. So, going to be a mage, maybe? Oh no, never mind. Okay, going to be another infantry green dragon. Starlight Stone, Distant Stance. Huh. Only 4 skills. I'm definitely liking the art on the female Corrin more than the male Corrin. Alright. Who's next? More dragons? It is going to be more dragons. Harvest Divinity. Oh, look at the little ghost hat she has. Naga. So, oh, flying colorless dragon. That's pretty neat. Wait, so does that mean she's going to be the 3-star, or I mean the 4-star focus of the banner then? I really love how the ghost, like, kind of floats behind her when she transforms. That outfit looks really great on her, too. Oh, Strength and Love. Interesting, Valencia theme. So, Duma's going to be the front runner here. So, Duma and Mila... Ghostly Lantern, so a brother and sister duo. That's actually... I like that. I like that a lot. As far as, like, the combination. Our blessing upon you. It's kind of nice just, like, it's kind of nice just seeing them together, I guess. You don't really get that interaction. Alright. Yeah. Yeah, we'll take a closer look at their skills, what the duo skill is as well. So it seems like they are going to be an armored dragon unit, and as expected, it is going to be, you know, an overall dragon theme here.
Indeed.
Indeed. Huh. Divine Harvest. The female Corrin art is actually really great. So is Naga. Both look amazing. Alright, and anybody of note here? Oh, okay, well, there's Nils, I think. There's Nils in the corner over there, as we expected, so we might have to wait to see his art, but I'm sure he's been confirmed within the in-game news, so okay, right on the money, I get with the guesses, I think, that most people had out there. Once again, okay, Naga is going to be the 4-star focus, starting on the 6th of October, for an entire month, and of course for FEH Pass subscribers, you are going to be able to spark for one of these fun Halloween units. Alright, Divine Harvest starting on the 6th of October and extending for an entire month. Once again, Naga being the 4-star focus unit of the banner, interestingly enough. Even color distribution, and both Corrins on the banner as I had guessed. I called it. I mean, I guess it wasn't that much of a stretch. So, you know, male Corrin was obviously the silhouette, and then female Corrin, I believe she had a Cypher card, a Fire Emblem Cypher card, the trading card game, where she was in, like, Halloween witch garb. So I don't remember exactly if the design matches up with this one, but I mean, good. I mean, she looks great. She really looks great. So I'm on board. I'm excited for the theme. Female Corrin looks great. Naga looks great. I like the theming of the duo of Duma and Mila. Male Corrin's fine too. All right, so let's go ahead and rewind, take a closer look at the art and skills, and see if this is ultimately a banner that I'm going to summon on, and what my recommendations are as far as over the banner as a whole. So first up, we have Halloween Female Corrin as an infantry blue dragon. Love the look, love the outfit, all of these little intricacies and details. Halloween really brings it out, and all the fun in the designs. You have the little Halloween wreath that she's holding, and then cobwebs on the side of her hip hanging off of the belt. You have a lantern on the other side that's a little bit spooky. You have this green and purple scarf trailing behind her and twisting around. The witch hat itself has a cute little purple ribbon around it and a moon motif and design on the actual bow. The dress is shoulderless, has a plunging neckline, form-fitting all the way down, very, very stylish. Has a slit going up the skirt all the way on the side up to the hip, and then it kind of billows outwards from the wind or the momentum, exposing her shapely legs there. She has those fashionable knee-high boots that really completes the entire ensemble, and I absolutely adore the purple galaxy star effect that they have going on under the brim of her hat, as well as on the inside and the inlay of her skirt. It's really cool. It's almost like beneath the actual clothing, it opens up into another dimension. So Moonlight Stone, it's a 16 might weapon, non-inheritable, has a killer slaying effect. At start of turn 1, if foe's attack can trigger special, grant special cooldown count -2. Okay, so she is going to have a defensive special. If foe initiates combat or foe's HP is greater than or equal to 75% at the start of combat, grants +5 to all stats to unit during combat, and grants special cooldown charge +1 to unit per unit's attack, and inflicts special cooldown count charge -1 on foe per attack, only highest value applied, and reduces damage dealt to unit by 8 when foe's attack triggers special. Excludes Miracle. So naturally, this is meant to synergize with her own unique defensive special, Negating Fang, similar to her legendary version. And so Negating Fang has a 3-turn cooldown with the Killer Slaying effect, plus at turn 1 getting a 2-turn special. That means that she is going to have Negating Fang at a insta-charged on turn 1 when it is her turn. So that's pretty great. And then as long as she's enemy phasing, or if there's an HP condition, she gets a whole host of stat boosts. She gets additional special charge, and negates the enemy special charge, which also reinforces her survivability when she's playing defensively and enemy phasing, which is, again, what seems to be her role. And then, interestingly, it has a damage reduction, a fixed damage reduction of 8 when foe attack triggers the special. So I don't think we've ever had a fixed damage reduction of 8 before. I'm sure somebody will correct me if I'm wrong in the comments down below. But I think we've had 5 and then stacking of multiple of 5, but I don't think we've had 8 before. It seems like a pretty odd, arbitrary number. I'm sure they have a reason for doing that, but naturally that is meant to, again, just increase her survivability with Negating Fang. And Negating Fang is going to reduce damage that she takes by 30%, and then after that triggers, her retaliatory attack is going to be 30% of her attack. So pretty strong overall. Attack speed finish for the A slot. If unit is within 3 spaces of an ally, super, super easy condition to meet. +7 to attack and speed. And then if unit special is ready, or if unit special triggered before or during this combat, deals +5 damage during combat, except when dealing damage with AoE specials, and when unit deals damage to foe during combat, restores 7 HP to unit. That is a stacked A slot. Wow. That is nutso. +7 to attack and speed, +5 fixed damage when the special triggers, and then 7 HP per attack restore. That's really good. I'm wondering what the restrictions are on this A slot. It may be infantry specific, might be dragon specific. If I had to place money on it, I would say probably an infantry specific skill. But yeah, I mean it's baller. I mean it's a really good one. Dragon's Wrath 4 for the B slot reduces damage from foe's first attack during combat by 25%, which is of course going to stack with Negating Fang. If unit's attack is greater than foe's res, unit's first attack deals damage equal to 25% of unit's attack minus foe's res during combat. So just additional extra fixed damage if she was going to deal damage anyway, and then damage reduction. She's going to enjoy that. That is, of course, going to synergize with negating Fang. And then Joint Drive Attack grants attack +4 to allies within 2 spaces during combat. If unit is within 2 spaces of an ally, grants attack +4 to unit during combat. So yeah, overall, I think Corrin is quite strong. She has some really fantastic skills at her disposal. I think first and foremost, what surprises me most about her kit is the inheritable A slot, because I think that A slot is amazing. But even, notwithstanding, she has Dragon's Wrath as well for the B slot, Joint Drive Attack. These are all really, really premium skills for inheritance purposes, but I think she herself is going to make fantastic use out of all of them. And she's going to fit her role very, very well in being an enemy phaser, and a dragon enemy phaser that has stacking damage reduction and fixed damage upon proccing special. She's gonna perform very, very well in that role. And here is male Corrin as an infantry green dragon. Does have a little bit more of a sorcery look compared to his gender swap counterpart, but still very much thematically the same. Has the purples and the black. Has the galaxy star motif beneath the theming behind the brim of the hat, as well as the lining of the outfit, which is really cool. Does look like he has a little pouch of something on his side that the female version didn't have, maybe of some like magical powders or something like that. He does look pretty darn dapper with the double-breasted purple vest and the blazer over top of that, and sort of the poofed out pants at the bottom. So male Corrin is going to have Starlight Stone. Has a killer slaying effect if foe initiates combat, or if foe's HP is greater than or equal to 75% at the start of combat. Grants attack +6 to unit and inflicts attack -6 on foe during combat. Inflicts special cooldown charge -1 on foe per attack. Restores 7 HP to unit when unit deals damage to foe during combat. And also, if foe can make a follow-up attack, reduces damage from foe's first attack during combat by 75%. And then adaptive damage against ranged foes. So it's interesting because he kind of incorporates a bunch of the things that female Corrin had in her skills into his weapon instead, and then he has a lot of different effects overall. So killer slaying effect, the +6 to attack and -6 on the enemy does increase his survivability while increasing the damage that he inflicts on the enemy. The special cooldown charge -1 on foe per attack is going to increase his survivability, as well as the 7 HP that he gains per attack. And then his weapon does have some built-in damage reduction if the enemy can double. So I think overall female Corrin's weapon is more interesting and has more potential, more versatility, but I think they do very different things as well. I mean, they're intended to do sort of different elements of a defensive archetype. So Moonbow for the special, distant stance for the A slot, unit can counterattack regardless of foe's range, and if foe initiates combat, grants res +5 to unit during combat. And then Dragon's Ire 4 for the B slot. At start of combat, if unit's HP is greater than or equal to 25%, inflicts attack res -4 on foe during combat. Unit makes a guaranteed follow-up attack. And then also, if foe initiates combat, you neutralize effects that prevent units' follow-up attacks. I see. So Dragon Fins eating well today during the Divine Harvest. Dragon's Ire 4 is amazing. Provides a guaranteed follow-up attack and then prevents anybody from preventing his guaranteed follow-up attack. Essentially, having an insurance policy on there is an excellent thing to have, especially with the number of skills out there that would neutralize that effect. So, Dragon's Ire 4 is excellent. Starlight Stone, I think, is really great as well. I do think that the female Corrin had a more cohesive kit, certainly, without any question whatsoever, but male Corrin is certainly no slouch either. So next up we have Naga as a colorless flying dragon, and I absolutely love her look. It has that eccentricity that you would love to see out of Halloween. Looks like she has some bindings and wrappings of a mummy, but it's combined with this bridal theming, like Bride of Frankenstein. And she has the pink and the white and the floral pattern there, which does resemble that with the big tresses and the trail of the dress. But she does have a top hat as well, so I don't really know if that's really what they were going for necessarily. But then she has the little ghost hat, which is so precious, and then she has the giant looming ghost behind her too, which I absolutely love. So I think this is like a fantastic look for her, especially for such a serious character. I always love that juxtaposition or that moe gap of having a very serious character in sort of a silly, sort of stylized look, and I think that this captures that really well. And of course, she looks great in those bindings too. That certainly doesn't hurt. But yeah, I really like this art. So Naga is going to be the 4-star focus unit of the banner, interestingly enough. So she is going to come with Serenity Breath Plus, and it is going to be inheritable. 14 might. If foe initiates combat or if foe's HP is greater than or equal to 75% at start of combat, inflicts -5 attack res on foe during combat, and foe cannot make a follow-up attack. And then adaptive damage. Yeah, that's an okay inheritable. It's not amazing or anything, but it's decent. It's alright. Rally up attack plus, attack res catch 3, and attack res rain 3. So, you know, the most notable skill that she has is the rain skill, probably. I mean, that's certainly, I think, one of the more useful skills that you could have in the 4-star pool. So certainly, if you need copies of rain skills, that's not a bad option to go for. You know, it's noteworthy that she is the 4-star focus unit, and she's a flying colorless dragon, which isn't the most common archetype in the game. So if you wanted to build that combination, she's definitely an option for an easier merge project, being the 4-star focus unit. And here we have the duo of the banner of Duma and Mila. They are going to be an armored red dragon. And there's just something about this, to me, that just kind of warms my heart a little bit. Just seeing them together before everything went to hell. I mean, presumably, they're in accord with one another, and they're on friendly terms. And I don't know, there's something about seeing these two together in this capacity that's, I don't know. It just feels very nice. Gives me some fuzzy feelings, I guess. I don't know. And their costumes look great, of course. Duma looks like he has like a jack-o'-lantern shield on his side there as part of his armor, and then it's also themed on his little bowler hat that he's wearing up top. Got some purple fringe around his collar, and then also a purple cape behind him. I'm not exactly sure what he's supposed to be, but again, it's like on theme. It's Halloween-y, right? They each are holding different jack-o'-lanterns filled with these little stars. And Mila as well, I'm not really sure exactly what she's supposed to be, but she does have the little kind of like a green fringe around her collar, and then she has some skeletal theming. She has like a little skull on her head, as well as some ribs exposed on the side. Her wings are covered in this cloth, this tapestry. Alright, so Ghostly Lanterns is their unique weapon, 16 might, killer slaying effect. At start of combat, if a unit's HP is greater than or equal to 25%, +6 attack to unit and -6 attack on foe. Neutralize effects that guarantee foes follow-up attacks, and foe cannot make a follow-up attack. And also, if foe's attack can trigger their special and unit's res is greater than or equal to foe's res +5 during combat, inflict special cooldown count +1 on foe before foe's first attack, cannot exceed the foe's maximum special cooldown, and then adaptive damage. That's really interesting. I'm wondering how that's going to pair up with their duo skill and everything else, but the long and short of it is that they have a killer slaying effect, and it's a lot of defensive options built into this weapon. Killer slaying effect, the -6 on the enemy and then +6 on them is going to increase their damage and increase their survivability. Straight up not allowing the enemy to follow up attack, regardless of if it's a guaranteed skill or through a speed check or what have you. So they have that built-in insurance once again. And then if they're using a defensive special that is going to proc, and then there's a res check associated with that, they inflict special cooldown count +1 on foe before foe's first attack. That's really interesting. That's really, really interesting. Because what that means is if somebody goes and charges into them with their special charged, if they meet this condition, that's effectively going to give them a +1 to their count so that they no longer have their special charged anymore. It's before the foe's first attack. So that's really unique and really interesting, actually, of an effect. Now, what's also a little weird is that the part of the condition for that is that they have a special that triggers on foe's attack in order for that to happen, but they have Glimmer for their special. That doesn't really make a lot of sense, unless, once again, there might be something built into the duo that changes their special or something. I don't know, we'll have to take a look. Distant Ferocity for the A slot, unit can counter attack regardless of foe's range. If unit initiates combat, attack +5. Okay, so this is going to be probably the most coveted distant counter upgrade. Dragon Wall 3 for the B slot, and Woeful Upheaval for the C slot. Their own unique C slot skill. At start of turn 1, deals 7 damage to all foes. Alright, so a little bit of the Duma effect. Reduces damage from foe's first attack during combat by percentage equal to difference between unit's attack and foe's attack, plus difference between foe's max HP and foe's current HP at start of combat, times 3. If foe uses a bow dagger, so if foe uses a ranged weapon and initiates combat against any ally within 2 spaces of unit, triggers Savior on unit. What a weird skill. I feel like it doesn't really know what it wants to be. It's all these different effects all mishmashed, which usually they try to do. And with a duo skill, often a duo unit, usually they try to like mesh the abilities of the two units that are in there with a given unique weapon or skill or whatever it might be. So naturally, it does have the Duma effect of at the start of turn it deals damage to all foes, right? The next damage reduction effect is it's just a weird computation. So first of all, it does an attack check. So it's based on Duo Duma's attack versus the foe's attack, and that difference is going to be one set of the damage reduction, and it's going to be that plus the difference between the foe's max HP and their current HP at the start of combat times 3. So if you take into account the first part of the skill, they've taken 7 damage. If they haven't healed at that point, that does mean that you're going to get at least, at the very bare minimum, 21 damage reduction through that, because it's going to be 7 damage times 3, right? Maximum of 30 for that second effect, not counting whatever the first effect has that would be additive into the 21. And then the whole savior element to it too is whatever. Of course, they're going to have a savior element. I mean, it seems like armor units at this point are either going to have the savior element or they're going to have that basically the cardinal direction teleportation, warping. So it's one of the two is really where they're kind of trying to focus armor units at this point. All right, so if we take a look at the duo skill, it neutralizes any penalty. Ooh, okay. Restores 30 HP and grants neutralized foes bonuses during combat for 1 turn to unit and allies within 5 rows and 5 columns centered on unit. I see. Once per map. Huh. That's not what I was expecting. I don't really see how that necessarily synergizes with the rest of their kit. I mean, it does because it's a defensive special or a defensive skill that's going to just increase the survivability of both the duo as well as all of their allies. So there is that. It doesn't necessarily coordinate with a specific skill that they have, I would say, in any specific fashion. Huh. That's actually a pretty great utility duo skill. It's cram-packed with value. It just has a lot of things built into it to increase the overall survivability, neutralize a lot of just the trickery that's out there, as well from both sides, both as far as offensive buffs and penalties on your team. There's just a lot of instances where it would be useful to have this skill. It's not busted. It's not like a broken-ass skill that we often see with duos. It's actually more of a strategic skill, which I think is actually more compelling. So it doesn't seem to necessarily synergize specifically with anything that they have, other than the fact that it increases survivability and has that team player element to it, where they have like the save skill, right? But beyond that, I might be missing something, but I don't see anything specific that necessarily synergizes with their kit. But I do think that it's a pretty good duo skill. It's a pretty good one. And I have to say that I love the Duma Dragon with the little hat, the little bowler hat on. I think that's really fantastic. So once again, starting on the 6th of October and extending for an entire month, we have Divine Harvest, our Halloween banner of 2022. Dragon enthusiasts should be thrilled. There's a lot to love about this banner. Whether or not you love the characters, you're probably going to love the skills, and there's going to be something for all of you out there that love dragons. For me personally, I am very, very tempted to go in for Corrin and Naga. Naga is going to be the 4-star focus, so theoretically should be easier to get on the banner. We'll see. I'm very tempted to go up to the Spark on this one. I'm not fully committed, but have a couple of days to mull it over, and that's probably what I'm going to do. But chances are I'm going to be summoning on this. I don't know if I'm going to be able to resist summoning for the Corrin and the Naga. But let me know in the comments below if you're excited for this banner, if you guessed who the units were going to be, if you are going to be summoning on the banner, who your targets are going to be, and what colors you're going to be hunting for. Hopefully you all enjoyed the video. If you did, please feel free to leave us a like, comment, and subscribe to the channel for more Fire Emblem Heroes content. We thank you all so much for watching, for taking time out of your day to spend with us. We really do appreciate it. And until next time, let's protect those skies.